All right, yeah. Hey, man, I don't think that there's nothing that was not said in that intro. Regarding who we're talking about tonight. Hey, man, we're shooting at night tonight, but hey, look, we're here. All right, let me do this officially. Welcome to Boy Black once again, and it's yet another, exciting and another segment that we call Black on Throwback Hip Hop Thursday. And yes, it's another group edition buffet too. Again, let's welcome everybody who just joined us. I don't know how many of you guys that have recently joined, but I know there's a couple of you who joined. Big up to you and much love buffet too. And for those who've been with me from the word jump, you already know what it is, man. It's all love, baby. And let's keep the movement going, buffet too. Let's keep the culture. And also, let's build this community into be what we want it. Yeah, about the existence of this community depends on you. Yeah, man, your boy Black. And yes, like I said, group edition, the intro, J Buffet Nivid and J. Squatter Camp is who we're talking about today. And where they from. The first offering. Remember, the segment is about their first album, debut album, or an EP. So I can either choose to talk about an album or an EP. Funny thing about this segment today, Buffet, I had a struggle in deciding who to talk about. I had Mags to talk about, Magazine. I had Hoodlum to feature. I had Ramash. The problem is one, I couldn't find their debut projects. Okay, I know of them, but I couldn't find them, in order for me to share that with you guys. Because remember, I also play most Mkulo, you guys could be on the loop of what to look for. So yeah, I couldn't find their music. Not to say I settled for Squatter Camp, because I had Squatter Camp on the lineup on one of the groups that I would eventually feature on this segment. But yeah, Squatter Camp was formed in '96. 7 members consisted in making this group. So these dudes will be namely Flabbergasted, aka Flabber, may his soul rest in peace. Sugar Smacks will be Infa Dizzle, aka Infa. There will be Niche, may his soul rest in peace as well. Would be Nimza, and we had Slicker. We had all the other two that are Boza. So those were the original members of Squatter Camp. So those 7 dudes that I just mentioned were like the Squatter Camp that we know. Obviously, they were later joined by a chick named Rilo. Refilwe would later join Squatter Camp to be another only female artist in the group. So yeah, shout out to Squatter Camp. In 2002, they dropped this album that we're going to be talking about today. The album, like I said, Buffett, it's mentioned right at the beginning of that intro. as okanye an intro, as they call it. They call it an intro because it's on the album as well. So the album is called Cut and Join, consists of 20 tracks, 20 flipping tracks of it. Obviously, 2 of those tracks will be the outro and the intro that you just had. I'm saying this so that you guys can understand. It's not an intro, it's an intro and an outro. But yeah, let's talk more about the album. So album 20 tracks. The dude that I know of as a producer would be Infa Diesel, aka Beat Oven, as he called himself on this album. Yeah, so if you know when of anyone was a producer of the Cut and Join, please feel free, Bafetu, to share the knowledge on the comment section below. And yeah, like I said, we're only growing together if we participate in this. But let me share what we know of Cut and Join album. So this was released under a record label that was formed by 2 of the members of the group, which would be Slicker and Sugar Smacks. So there's a record label will be called Bada Bing Entertainment, which I remember it later signed a Xhosa rapper from Ebai who was called My Man. I don't know if you guys remember My Man, but Xhosa rapper from PE, Kanye Gqeberha today, was signed under that Bada Bing Entertainment. Another nice ass dude that we'll talk about later on this segment that we call Black on Throwback Thursday. Yeah, okay. Tracks that are interesting. A lot of tracks that are interesting, by the way, on this album. Tracks like Iguri, would be Rao Rao. Manyisa would be another joint that was also on the high rotation. Kick It, Killing It, and of course a track that Flabba was featured right at the end of this album. It's called The Rest Shut the F Up. It's just got a camp joint, but it's only Flabba. May his soul rest in peace, my friend. Flabba, he sadly passed away back in 2015 March after domestic violence with his partner. He ended up succumbed by a stab wound. Okay, another just sad story. I thought I should mention that, but because it's part of this segment. In 2021, we lost Niche, and so it was one of those COVID-19 complication sicknesses. But yeah, we lost 2 members in Squad Camp. And later, after 2015, Infa would leave the crew. Another sad activity that would happen amongst these people that we happen to love and watch grow. Because Squad Camp had like a beautiful, fucking awesome career in their 27 years of working together. I'm saying ahead because they just, like I said, dropped the last album. They said themselves, don't quote me on this, they said it's their last album working together. I'm not saying that they won't be working Klambi on their own projects like they did before. Like I said, within their career they worked I remember Nimza dropped an album, the late Flabba dropped an album, I think Boza dropped an album. And one of my favorites was the Infa Diesel. Everybody was just dropping. It was fucking dope to watch because we could tell that that they are talented on their own. They didn't need the group, the collectiveness that they came out as. But then again, without them being together, we wouldn't have known of Squad Camp, which is shout out to that. What else did I want to mention before I continue? The tape that I was telling you about. My favorite tape was when Infa dropped. It was called Shep Silver Clips. I remember I was a big fan. I was a stan. In fact, I was a stan of Hype magazine mixtapes. So one of the tracks from that project that he dropped, it was featured on those Hype magazine mixtapes volumes. So man, and also Slicker dropped some couple of Ventilations tapes, I think 1 and 2 if I'm not mistaken. But like I said, these dudes were talented up until the last album, and of course until we lost 2 of them. So 20 tracks on this Cut and Join, produced by Infa. Again, I stand to be corrected. I am not saying he was the only one that produced the album. I'm saying if you know of anyone who was a producer, on the comment section, my friend, you know what to do. Yeah, we're gonna take a look at the first joint that I mentioned, Iguri. Oh, my friend, pip this.
Of course, baby. Of course I'm the hot until I can find a rapper who be as ill as me. I see no other way of battling but physically. See now it's clever, you face defeat. Will come a second best guarantee. You think the walls are big enough? I'm doing battle, kid. Opinions that you fuck with. I'm doing battle, kid. I talk behind my back. I'm doing battle, kid. I'm doing battle, kid. I'm doing battle, kid. You think the walls are big enough? I'm doing battle, kid. Opinions that you fuck with. I'm doing battle, kid. I talk behind my back. I'm doing battle, kid. I'm doing battle, kid. I'm doing battle, kid. Deliver anthrax from speakers, rat tax, cheese streamers, camex from head to toe. When I flow, it's my favorite to blow. My brains have the
Sheesh. Yo, again about this segment, ne? I think that's the sad part about it. I can't play the whole joint of it. Yo. That, I think that nje alone is just a sad part of it. But hey, look, again, the idea is for Abanba to know what to look out for when they are actually like, pursuing to listen to the album of it. Dope ass music, underground type shit, boom bap type shit, if you may. Remember, I think most artists back in 2000, okay, early, 2000, just that era of 99 to early 2000. I think everybody was just recognized as an underground because they were not known. Remember, like I always say, our hip hop history was so struggling. Whenever there was a project that was coming out, it was not getting that recognition as opposed to Mklambi Kwaito and Kwaito act okanye Mklambi, I don't know, a pop or a gospel. Hip hop had to struggle a lot when it was starting coming out. So obviously dudes were sounding different and kind of like keeping to themselves, but at the same time trying to prove themselves that, hey, look, there's Squatter Camp from Leondale and Alex, Amachita Leondale and Alex were coming out, showcase their skills and shit like that. So yeah, shout out to Squatter Camp and the rest of the crews, or the rest of Amachita that were like popping up and showing up. So yeah, if you were to listen to this from this album, you'll feel that kind of like underground, metaphorical, wordplay type shit. But this is not what we are used to. Yeah, but as this is being commercialized and shit. So yeah, it was different. It was different, but it was a struggle. It was a movement. Yeah, but so we always acknowledge such stamp in our hip hop movement as in South Africa. In 2002, when after they dropped this album, would again just, I think it's another fun fact that Band should be on the lookout for, that Squatter Camp would become the first hip hop act on the Summers to win an album. Yeah, look that up. So yeah, I thought I should mention that as well. And they will later on Amachita and sign on a major record label, which is another fun fact, because they happen to be the first hip hop act to be signed on Gallo Records. Gallo Records was known in South Africa, still known in South Africa. I believe Usis Rebecca Malobe was signed or still signed. I'm not sure. That was a long time ago. But yeah, Squatter Camp would become one of the first hip hop acts to be signed under Gallo. And yes, when they released the second album, which was Mkoko Function, bro, 25,000 copies in South Africa is a lot back then of it. Look that up again. So yeah, man, I thought I should mention those fun facts about Squatter Camp and their successful careers up until their last album. So yeah, shout out to Squatter Camp and their movement. And another joint that I feel like I should be looking at that most people you would know is Rao Rao. So Rao Rao is one of those rowdy joints, like when you take to the streets, or you're just driving by on the street and you're bumping Rao Rao. Or if it was being played on the the hip hop sessions out there, everybody would be bumping their heads. This is one of those joints to like, again, sort of like underground boom bap type shit. Peep this.
face, I can pinpoint like it or not. You feeling me? Who's the man? Your beggars couldn't touch me, so you ran. 2002, you're in the squad, I never doubted. Row, club shit, that booby project rappers forfeit. Yes, get out, put your earballs around. You got something to prove, better come right now. But get out, we never back down. Squad account, we gonna take the crown right now.
Alright, man. And like I said, this is one of those joints. There's no way if you would hear this out there loud. This was a head turner, Buffet too. Still is, I believe, still is. It makes you wanna, take back to the good old golden, golden age hip hop type. Shout out to Scott Camp again. Like like I mentioned earlier about how much I had their last album recently. And of course, they lost a couple of members, which was sad. I don't want to keep going back to that because it's really a sad thing that a band that you grow up listening to now are finally calling it quits, or are deciding to not to do it anymore. It's kind of saddening, but at the same time, we are appreciative of that that they took and shared their talent with us. I personally, I'm saying Diabulela and. Big shout out to Amajid. So, we're hoping that they plan on what to do with their careers or with their with themselves in the long run. So, I heard to the Tating Alena before. We could perhaps not even hear about Scholar Camp anymore, which is kind of unlikely because music is forever. We'll hear music forever, their music in particular. But this album, I had to share because it's his debut album, and it's what we do here, to reflect back as to where they're coming from or what they did in the culture. Fucking 27 years, bro. Fucking 27 years. These dudes were together, making music, entertaining us, bro. And with the fucking resume that they have, it's unlikely that we would say they are forgotten, but you can never know. Another joint that I believe that we should be looking at, I personally would be Worldwide. Worldwide, it's featuring Sipiwe Ngwenya. I tried to look Sipiwe Ngwenya, but where is he today? But yeah, this joint is also one to be looked at. Pip this.
Worldwide, verbal hurricane, bombshell rhyme element from the depths of their mind. North travel the continent, deepest mentality. Mind soft in my fatal ravage and tragic. Phrases conquer your fortress. Kill a machine caliber, bomb and use cannon. Damage, weak minds entering a peace circumference. SK missile launcher, shatter existence. Global frontier splitter, triggering landslides. My words strike the equate, activated in greasy dungeons. Ill-bred and dirty slave ships are contracted metaphors that get disease. Lyrics rattle sand, my voice infested, dancing around perfectionist. On point like Saturnino, hydrochloric supplement, boiling body fluids. Rock pervade that tear gas, choking the whole tenement, choking it. Africa stand tall, I bend down Jericho wall. I chant down the evil conception with the scroll. Repatriate the black tribe, I expand my plan worldwide. Like water overcome the sea, I flow like banners of Ethiopia when we were free. MCs are whack like they run away from the solar energy. Voice in the wilderness, echoes of sadness. Reputation, MCs are sounding like you ain't the tape. I'm hardcore, I shave back into primitive. It's the system, putting them like a rhythm. I'm out of tune like a broken guitar string. And consciousness is my mental dream. I'm a flashing green like a lotus. Cause worldwide money is the only thing that a blind man can feel. Cause worldwide money, the drop of the lamb sitting in death man like drums of salvation. My prediction is that black culture shall not reach its final destination. We like racial migration. And the white nation is like a bullet type thing as vibration. Time's on my side. The windows of the world, they start to open wide. Worldwide. Time's on my side. The windows of the world.
That joint's called Worldwide, featuring Sipiwe Ngwenya. just enjoy any ngoma that you want to listen to. And again, this is one of the joints that has a feature, and the next feature will be Urilo okanye Refilwe. But she would later join Squatter Camp, by the way. I think on the third album she's featured. Or on the second album? I think from the second album, yeah. I think from the second album, which is Good Fun, she's featured. Could be wrong, but you know what to do. Correct me on the comment section. Yeah, another joint that was also on high rotation would be Manyisa. Manyisa also has some witty type of like flow from Flabber, punchlines. That out of this world. Remember, like I said, these dudes were hungry, man. You had to hear what they were talking about when they came out, yeah, and I believe Flabber was one of those dudes. Flabber, names were my, and were my favorites when it comes to like some metaphors and punchlines. I think their wordplay was just massive, nice. I'm not saying that the other dudes were not, because like I said, people are different, but whenever I hear flabbergasted flow, a 16 verse, I just get your goosebumps, like, yo, fuck this dude. Yeah, well, so hence I want to talk about his offering that he dropped before we could pass. We'll talk about that on the long run as we like continue to uncover and sort of like review their debut albums in this segment that is called Black on Throwback Hip Hop Thursday. I don't know, I'm kind of like a bit taken aback, and I'm trying. I don't know. It's the fact that I have the space on my own, or the fact that I'm shooting episode, but I'm kind of laid back, which is kind of like it's not a good thing. I want to be nervous when I'm doing this shit. I don't want to be so chilled out. I want to be nervous because when I'm nervous, I know that I don't want to fuck up. You know what I mean? So if I'm chilled as this, then there's like clearly something wrong as a guy. But I don't know. It could be the fan that is sleeping. The fact that it's quiet, because normally when I'm shooting there's just a bit of noise around, and I always like walking up and down and shit. But hey, look, we're doing it. We're here. All this for your benefit, spreading love. Squatter Camp, founded in 96, in 2002, dropped this album that is called Cut and Join, 20 tracks. 20. Producer that I know of, Infa Dizzle, aka Infa. You know what to do. If you know of anyone that was in that resume, your producers, comment section is down below of it. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Let's hear what your niggas got to say about it, yeah, boy. I always stand to be corrected here. Okay, without further ado, another joint is called Manyisa. Another J joint that was known from Cut and Join. It's a vibe joint. It's a kind of like vibey. You wanna jam to it. You wanna dance. With your Timberland boots and your baggy luxe jeans. You know how we did back then with it. I don't know if that was a thing back then. Everybody was like baggy. Like I always say, this culture was influenced heavily by the Western culture of hip hop. So obviously everything we did was to imitate, the Americans in particular. But most of us, we did it. If you were a hip hop or a rap stand back then, we all did with it up until a certain point where we felt like, okay, nah, can't be these jeans are too heavy. Because at some point, the jeans were too heavy, really, even to walk around with. And those Caterpillar boots, because obviously not everyone could afford some Timberlands. So yeah, screw Timberlands. We were okay with our cats' boots and shit. So yeah, shout out to the culture and shout out to the hip hop movement. It was fucking dope of it. It was really dope. Still is. Hence we still talk about it today. Manyisa is one of those joints that you wanted to just jam with it. Pip this. Hold up. Yo, I think Boza was mad on that. Phew. I think Boza, Boza was fucking furious, man. Fucking entertaining. That the punchlines of that joint. Yo. Whew. Man, like I'm saying, my friend, this is the project that you want to look out for. Cut and Join. It's on iTunes. It's on YouTube Music. Just check it out, my friend. Fucking awesome. Yeah. Before I could like leave you guys, I have one more joint that I want to play with, and because it's Sepsuku and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna be playing just one joint before I could say in Borneo, but a joint by Flabber. Hey, look, man, this was an amazing album. It was influenced heavily by South African culture with some conscious raps here and there, vernac raps. One major rapper in languages, which I always find fascinating. Whether it's being in Spanish or being like I don't know, with a different language than the English that we originally know rap music to be of. But whenever someone raps in there like with their mother tongue, like that's what I like about our diversity when it comes to South African languages. It's fucking awesome, my friend. So yeah, the vernac on its own is just a different style of rap. Also influenced by Kwaito. Obviously, Kwaito was dominating as one of the genres of South Africa. So obviously, vernac, I would say mostly vernac rappers are heavily influenced by Kwaito, which is awesome. So yeah, again, just look out for the album Cut and Join. 20 tracks released under Parabing Entertainment, A Baby to Slicker and Sugar Smacks. And also a signee, the first signee that I remember was my man from Mebai, Man, the album that dropped in 2005 under that label. We'll talk about it some other time. But yeah, before I go leave, let me say, it's all love, baby. You already know what to do. Comment, sub, share, like, and also make sure that notification bell is being on. Yeah, but when is the next video dropping? But you already know though, the next video always drops on this second week, okay, on the fortnight. Thursday we here we're doing a Black on Throwback Hip Hop Thursday. Shit that we cover, it will be again EPs or debut albums. So yeah, man, it's what it is. Your boy Black signing out with a joint that only features Flabber. It's called The Rest of Y'all Shut Them Up. Your boy Black signing out. Peace.
Yeah, lyrical battles I don't like, physical battles I don't mind. That's why the club see my God whites. The rest of the advisory is necessary. Another try to specialize with a cat. Who the fuck doesn't know what my name is? It's the same that fools that probably don't know what fucking AIDS is. You dare say my vocal is weak and I'll rip your heart out that rap is deep. Just wishful thinking, I'd like to fuck supermodels and instead of champagne, I'll make a drink from brown bottles and self-centered black cats bastard I might be. Motherfucker, you think most of these chicks don't like me? I do shit conscious for the love of hip hop. See, I even rip your bladder out just to get you pissed off. Treat beef like it was skill, I'm always talented. 3 words to describe my character, full of shit. When I say squatter, the rest shut the fuck up. And my squad say camp, right? Squatter. Yeah.